Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy November. Today is November 3rd, 2025. Welcome to another session of In the Zone Trading. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch my quick 4-minute video I posted last night, but we're going to be doing something a little bit different today. We are essentially starting a prop firm challenge day one. And you'll see at the top left corner of my screen a brand new Apex Trader Funding 50K evaluation account. And so I'll go ahead and trade this along with my other accounts that I'm trading simultaneously. But the goal here is to show you guys how to actually trade with a prop firm, how to pass their evaluation, how to turn that evaluation into a paid account, and actually take multiple payouts. And so as we start on this journey, we'll be tracking the performance of that account, how we do each and every day, trade management, risk management, account management. I kind of go from there. I think it's going to be really exciting to kind of see it all in action. And if you guys have any questions about, what is a prop firm, how do I get started, feel free to leave me a comment and we can definitely get in touch and talk a little bit more about it. I do have a link in my description for the prop firm that I am using, which is Apex. It's an affiliate link. And if you click on it, it'll give you the best discount that the prop firm is offering currently. And the idea behind prop firms is you essentially buy an evaluation. There's a certain set of rules. If you pass this evaluation, they will give you something called a performance account, or otherwise known as a PA account. And from that PA account, you're able to actually earn money and cash it out. So I think for folks who want to learn how to trade futures, especially not wanting to risk their own capital, I believe prop firms are really the best way to take advantage of all of that. And I think they're the best way to also learn as well. So you can feel like you're in the game, you're trading with semi-real money, and you can also feel what it's like to have something that's at stake rather than just paper trading. Don't get me wrong, I believe paper trading is really important, especially if you're a beginner or you're trying a brand new strategy. Paper trading is absolutely crucial. But as you mature in your trading journey, having something at stake, but not quite risking money that you're not willing to risk, I think prop firms is a great solution to that. You're able to feel what it's like to have money on the line, to have something on the line, which is going to be really important because managing your emotions is probably the most important aspect of being a consistently profitable trader. The mental game, the mindset. And so with that being said, today is day one of this 50K evaluation prop firm challenge. So you start out with $50,000. And the goal is to get up to $3,000. And there is no time limit, so you can take as many days as you want to do so. But the most important thing is you're not supposed to lose $2,500. And so there's something called a trailing drawdown. So you start with 50,000. So you're not supposed to go below 47,500, right? But as you make profit on this evaluation, the bottom line moves up. So what does that mean? So let's just say we're up now to 51,000. So we're up $1,000 in profit. So now I can't go below 48,500. That's called a trailing drawdown. And that's where it gets a little tricky. So you have to manage your positions. You have to be really good at taking profits quickly. and making sure that your trailing drawdown doesn't become an issue when you're trading these prop firms. So today we're going to trade two different systems. We're going to go back to trading the tick chart for the first 1 hour of trading. So this is the chart you see in front of you right now is the MNQ 1024 tick chart. We're going to be trading 5 micros on this eval account. And then around 10:30 or 10:40, depending on how we do, we will transition to trading the Renko charts on the NQ. We'll be only trading 1 mini for that. So we are about 1 minute before market opens. We're currently in this bullish move here that hasn't hit target yet and hasn't stopped out. We're going to be monitoring this move. Yes, yes, Doug, this is using NinZaTrader. NinZaTrader just happens to be sort of the trading tool or account that you can use to manage your prop firms. And a micro is worth $2 each on the MNQ, $5 each on the ES, or MES rather. Yes, the correct word is platform. So right now we're trading 5 micros. I'm basically cutting my risk in half, if you're wondering why I'm trading 5 micros. Normally I trade 1 mini on these accounts. But you know, 1 mini is the equivalent to 10 micros. So if I want to cut my risk in half, I then drop to micros and cut the micros in half. That's why I'm trading 5 micros. So right now we got this bullish trigger here that just hit target. I don't have a 50 level up there, surprisingly. We haven't traded the tick chart in so long, so it's been a while. I have to update some of my lines. The runner has been taken out. The golden ruler moves up. We have this really shallow downward trend line here. There actually is news today, by the way, at 10 o'clock. Red folder. You don't typically see red folder news on a Monday, so that's new. Might have to do with the government shutdown, the fact that we haven't really been receiving a lot of news in the first place. So we did get this trigger here, but we're below that trend line. So, Doug, there's 3 types of news events. Yellow, which is low volatility, orange, medium volatility, and then red folder events, which is big, large amount of volatility, right? I will go ahead and put in the chat the link so you can keep track of the news. This is something you should probably be paying attention to on a daily basis. So if you go to forexfactory.com, they do a really, really good job of telling you what news is coming out on what day, and if it's and what market it's affecting. And by market, I mean what country. Is it affecting the American market, the British market, the Australian market, the Asian market, so on and so forth? And so today, if you click on that link, you'll see at 10 o'clock a.m. there's ISM Manufacturing PMI. You'll notice there's a red icon next to it, and it says USD, so that's our market, right? And then there's ISM Manufacturing Prices, which is orange. So the volatility is medium and high at 10 o'clock. So what does that mean for us? It means we should probably not be in any trade leading up to that 10 o'clock news, because those candles can get very, very aggressive and very volatile, and they can stop you out in an instant. So it's better to just sit out during those high volatility events. Yeah, that's correct. If it is red, you should probably be out of everything before 10 o'clock. Because literally it can go in any direction. It's a pure gamble at that point. Especially if the folder is red, because of the volatility is high on the news and what the news could mean. So the runner just got stopped out right there. We are approaching this bigger downward trend line here that I have drawn from earlier. Looks like we're testing that downward trend line, and we're going right through it now. So we can delete this trend line now. And I believe we're currently in this trade now. This one right here. So we can probably take it if it comes back up, but we missed it. It might come up and get us, maybe. Let's see if it does. Okay, we're in. And we're almost out of there. Boom, what a beautiful trade. And you could see we made $110, $109 on that trade. You could see that because I am updating my P&L on that one eval account on the top left of your screen. Let me know if you're able to see that. So we had this bullish trigger here. The runner was still running at the time, so we couldn't take it. But the bullish trigger is about to hit its target. It missed it by a tick. We do move the golden ruler down. No, the cost to get in was about $1 per and change per micro contract. So I think it's about $5, Doug. I'd have to check. Every website's going to be different. Every prop firm's going to be different. But I can double check for you after we're done, and I'll let you know. Yeah, I mean, I would say when you start trading multiple micros and you start doing it often, it does start getting expensive. The fees start adding up, and that's why I prefer trading minis. But micros are a really good way to manage your risk, especially if you have a smaller account. So this is our trade here. This is our trigger lower. And our target's like right there. See if we hit it. We might get stopped out. But the trend is down right now. We tested the stop loss. All right, it's like really having a hard time here. Okay, it's finally going down. There we go. And now we are up $193 on the day so far, including fees, right? The gross is 209. And Doug, the reason why you probably thought it was $10 is because I took a test trade right before the stream to make sure that the copier was working correctly. But yeah, we've taken quote unquote 3 trades, 2 real ones on the stream, one just to test prior to the stream. And now our runner, I believe, is at break even. Or now it's being tested here. There we go. Our runner is out. So let's draw this downward trend line. I don't know if we're going to have enough room to take this trade lower because we have this trend line I have drawn down there. But let's just see. Do we have enough room? We do. All right, let's get in. I'll move it slightly down. You know, Doug, when I first got started, I went ahead and bought the lifetime license as well for NinjaTrader. It was around $1,100 at the time. It was fantastic. I love NinjaTrader. It's my favorite platform to use. Yes, that will give you endless time to practice in paper mode. So you can see here we locked in 5 points because it hit 10, locked in 5, took us out. Didn't quite hit our actual target, but we got 5 points out of it. Good morning, John. How are you feeling? Now, Doug, there is something really cool about joining a prop firm. They will give you a license to use NinjaTrader for free. So there's that as well. So you don't have to pay the $1,500. But there are tools that are only available to folks who do pay the $1,500 license. Well, I'm sorry you're not feeling great. Hope you feel better soon. We're praying for you. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, if you definitely have the funds, I would invest in $1,500 because what that will open up for you is the ability to trade your own money in the future, um, which is ultimately the goal. I mean, prop firms are a nice way to get started, but ultimately having the freedom of trading your own money is also really good, right? So paying that $1,500 is going to be tax deductible to your trading business, right? Are you guys able to hear me okay too? I'm in the process of updating my sound equipment. So is today's session okay? Can you hear me okay? Can you hear a little bit of the music okay in the background? Wonderful. Okay. Oh, there's no music? Okay, it must be really, really soft. Let's see when it's kind of soft right now. Let's see if the volume increases. No music. Okay. All right, let me see if I can give you a little bit more music here. Can you guys hear the music now? A little, okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't want the music to be like the main feature. I just want it to be a little bit of background music, right? Just to give a little bit of flavor to the stream, not necessarily be the main point of the stream. The font on your profit and loss is really small. I can hear the music now. Okay, I'm going to work on that, Doug, to see if I can increase the font size. So thank you for that. I do want it to be obviously bigger so people can read it. So I'll work on figuring out a way to make it more legible for people. So let me go ahead and write that down as feedback. Yeah, it's on the top left corner of the screen, and I just want to make it a lot more visible for you guys. So you guys can see we're kind of stuck in this range right now. We did have golden ruler above us. Now it's going to be below us. This is currently the trade we are in at the moment. You're very welcome, Doug. Have a great meeting, and I'll be here probably till 11:30ish, maybe noonish. So, and it'll be recorded, so if you miss something, you can watch it later. Have a great meeting. So we're currently in a bullish trade and a bearish trade. The bearish trade worked and the bullish trade stopped out. So John, in case you missed it, we do have a red folder event today on a Monday, which is not very typical at all. So that should be interesting for Monday trading. The runner on that bearish move is now done. Going to delete all these other lines that are no longer necessary. Our golden ruler moves down. We are approaching VWAP. This would have been the move to take, and we missed it. 10-point right going into VWAP. That's like pretty good setup. High probability. We did miss it, and that's okay. Oh, no worries. I mean, yeah, just nice to have fellowship. All right, the runner is out on that bearish move now. False positive here. We have all that resistance overhead. False positive bullish signal is what I meant to say. We have bearish signal, but we're still in the middle of that bullish trade. So a lot of mixed signals at the moment. We triggered bearish again. Bulls are trying to hold this level. It looks like the bulls won. I am feeling a little better. Thanks for asking. Not 100%, but getting there. All right, the runner's out on the bullish trade. we still have golden ruler above our heads, so we can't take any bullish trades. And we're stuck in this wedge. This is the false positive bullish signal here. If we didn't have 150 above our heads, I would have taken this one. There's that stop out on the false positive bullish. Now we're in this bearish move. It's also false positive. My 9:55 alarm's going off. We do have that red folder event in 5 minutes. So maybe it'll be better if we sit on our hands until after the news. We have this macro trend line now up here. The bearish move worked. Let's track the runner now. Yeah, and for those of you who are just joining, we are trading two styles of trading today. We're doing the 1024 tick chart on the MNQ, trading 5 micros. And then around 10:30, 10:45-ish, we will transition to trading the Renko chart. I believe the runner got taken out. Yep. Most definitely. This was the false positive bullish signal here. It almost hit target and missed it by a point. Now we also have this bearish signal here in the middle of this bullish move. We have a little over 2 minutes before the 10 o'clock news. We could still see a little bit of price stalling here and consolidating up until the news event in about 1 minute. Okay, there's 10 o'clock. Let's see what happens. We're still in the middle of two different types of trades here. A lot of indecision. Okay, bearish side won. Golden ruler moves down. Let's delete some lines here that are no longer valid. Looks like we're testing this macro trend line from overnight. You guys can see it here from Friday, the low of the London open. This could be a bigger upward trend line here that we could be bouncing off of. Let's just see what happens. We're closing below it, but the runner is still running. All right, the runner is out. The next question is going to be, do we get a bounce off of the 100 level, go back up, or do we break through 100 and continue going down? This is actually a signal to go higher here. Okay, we're working our way towards that target. Almost hit it. Eventually, I think if we're going to try to go up, we're going to try to retest VWAP above us. But I don't like this reversal here. We literally missed my target by a tick. I don't like when price does that. I'm going to go ahead and put this at break even now. Can you hear me okay, dust off his feet right now? Is the audio okay? All right, this one worked. Okay. Updating some sound equipment this weekend, so it's going to be a little spotty here and there. If you let me know what it sounds like to you on your end and your feedback, that would be very helpful for me to calibrate this. So I appreciate it. All right, guys. So far we've taken 3 trades, 3 winners, 100% win rate so far. We're up $313. Trading 5 micros on the micro NQ tick chart. I think this was a bearish signal and I missed it. Yeah. I need to change groups though. I'm trading multiple groups, so bear with me for one moment. Okay, that was a legitimate trade lower. And it worked, but it's okay if we miss them. So we did break through 100. And now we're trying to come back up. Let's go ahead and move golden ruler down. Get the runner out of the way as well. We are currently in this bullish signal here, but it is below this EMA and this trend line, so we didn't take it. And there you go. There's that false positive bullish signal that stopped out, right? Now our bearish signal, believe it or not, was actually when we closed below 100 and had this inverted hammer right there. And that did hit target, but we couldn't have taken this one either because we were in the middle of this move, the bullish move. And so right now we're still in the middle of that bearish move, even though it hit target. We're just keeping track of that runner. And as soon as that runner gets taken out, then it resets the table, if you will, and we can look for our next setup to take. All right, the runner just got taken out. So now the tables have reset, if you will. And our next potential trade is going to be bearish if we can break below this trend line here. Break and close below the trend line, which we didn't. All right, now it looks like we want to go up. Okay, fair enough. Let's go up. Can you come back and get me? Missed it. It might come down and get me, though. There we go. There we go. That was crazy. It worked. It just... Okay, so we're 4 for 4. 100% win rate. We're up $437. Just taking some notes here. We would be keeping track of the runner. Runner is up here now. And we're getting near VWAP again, which could present itself as an area of resistance. Okay, so the runner's been taken out. We have this downward trend line. We're going to delete this trend line, delete this measured move. And this would be a false positive bullish signal here just because we have two strong areas of resistance overhead. We have the VWAP and we have this macro trend line from earlier. So I wouldn't consider this a high probability setup to continue going higher. And you can see here it stopped out, right? So when you're looking at a particular signal, you really want to be looking at the context of where that candle is with its surrounding environment, right? This is another bullish signal here, but again, potential resistance overhead, right? We'll measure it out just to keep track of it, but we're not taking it. And this one didn't hit the target, so. And sometimes your marginal setups are going to work, right? But doesn't mean we should make a habit of taking marginal trades. We broke that high, so our golden ruler actually moves up to 1875. Our runner's moving up as well. So we can delete all the lines that have been violated. So no longer valid. Invalidated, I guess probably is a better word. And now our runner has been taken out here. If this triggered lower, it would be a signal. I missed it. But let's see if it comes back and gets me. It did. And this is our target for a bearish trade. There we go. It worked. Wasn't a very big trade, but the setup was clean. Now we're getting a potential bounce off VWAP here. Sorry, I'm adjusting the mic here. False positive bearish signal here. And I say that because we have this trend line that's in the way from earlier, but looks like the bears are still pushing through to the downside. And now we have a runner that we're tracking. A bearish runner. You can delete this line now. It's invalidated. We are approaching the 100 level again. We could potentially see bulls step in at that zone. We'll find out. Okay, so we're testing 100 right now. Pushing through it. All right. So this is that bounce I was talking about earlier. Problem is we can't take this signal higher here because of that EMA that's above our heads. But the runner was taken out. And now we have a fresh trigger lower, but that candle is really big and the measured move is below the standard deviation level here. So would not be taking this trade either. We are currently at the bottom of today's range, so we made a brand new low down here. You can see we stopped out from this big bearish signal, and sometimes you're going to get these strong looking candles and they're really designed to kind of suck you in. It's a lot like poker, where sometimes strong actually is weak and weak is actually strong. It's like reverse psychology. So you can potentially say that this bearish candle here was kind of like a bluff, okay? It looked strong. It closed above all the levels, but you also have to look at it in relation to where we are. This was the prior low of the opening session today, the New York session. So is there really a lot of room for this candle to go before we bounce up? And the answer is no. We had this potential area here, and we had the standard deviation level below us. So two reasons why you would not have taken this bearish signal. And now we're in the middle of two signals here. We have a false positive bullish. You could see the EMA acted as resistance. Hasn't stopped out yet. And then you also have this failure at the EMA right here, this inverted hammer. And it did end up working to the downside, but you wouldn't have been able to take this one either. because 100 was right below you and 100 could have acted as support, right? So you just have to filter through the noise and try to take the setups that make sense, where the runway is clear, meaning there's really no obstacles in the way for the price to move in flow to its target. The golden ruler now moves down to here. We're still in this bullish move that never stopped out. And now you also have this bearish move here when it closed below 100. But again, neither of these two moves, both the bullish or the bearish, are high probability setups. So you just kind of have to sit on your hands and wait for these moves to play out one way or the other. Okay, so the bullish move stopped out. Bearish move did hit its target. And then the runner on that bearish move is out. So reset everything. We have a higher low here. So we're going to go ahead and mark this trend line like that. And then we have this more aggressive micro trend line like that. And now we potentially have a bullish signal higher here if it wants to go higher. Because the runway is clear to go back up and retest VWAP. See if we actually get triggered in. All right, I canceled that order. Never got the trigger. No trigger, no trade. Sometimes when you trade tick charts, the trend line doesn't want to stay in place. I don't know why Ninja does that, but Ninja does that. You have a false positive bearish signal here. And the reason why this one's false positive is because we have this trend line in the way. And again, this is why we follow our rules. And one of my other rules is don't take the trade that stopped you out. Now, this would normally be a really good bullish setup to go to the upside, but this bullish candle did stop out this bearish candle. And the reason why I have that rule is because it helps to prevent choppiness. Sometimes if the market wants to be stuck in a chop and you start taking the bullish signal and you get stopped out, you start taking the bearish signal that stopped you out and you stop out, you might be in this endless loop of being stopped out, and that can be really, really frustrating. So I'd rather just not take the trades that stop me out. And I've noticed over time that that's probably a good rule. You could see it's working here. This bullish trade didn't work, right? And it's just from me observing hundreds, if not thousands of hours in the market and its behavior. And now this bearish signal here was a false positive signal to the downside. It did end up working, but I wouldn't have called it a high probability setup myself. Now the runner we're going to keep track of. Okay, the golden ruler moves down. We made a brand new low. Runner moves down as well. Let's delete all these other lines that are no longer valid. The runner is still running. Okay, we're down at the 50 level now. Doesn't look like the sellers are slowing down. Zooming out to see if there's anything else that we need to be paying attention to, and it looks like the sellers might want to be going down to our overnight low, which is at 26,016.50. I have it marked here in this dotted gray line. That was the overnight low. Actually, the overnight low is a little bit below that. It's where we opened on 6 p.m. last night. Go ahead and mark that. But this is another level here, so I'm going to go ahead and mark this. All right. You can see the runner's been taken out. This is a bearish signal candle here. If we can get the trigger lower, we'll take it. But it has to trigger. Okay, it did not trigger. So we have this look instead now. And our target's right here. Stop loss is going to be right there. There is a lot of hesitation right now. Might get stopped out. There it is. There's that stop loss. That's our first stop loss of the day. Golden ruler would have moved down. So now our downward trend line is right here. So we're in this really tiny wedge at the moment. And notice this candle did not close below the trend line. So I can't take this bearish. I have to redraw my trend lines and see what price actually wants to do. Golden ruler moves down. At this point, we're kind of approaching near the bottom of the overnight area. So I don't know how likely I am to take. I'm probably not going to take this bearish move here. It didn't trigger anyway. There's all these areas of potential support underneath us. So that's why I'm skipping on this bearish signal here. There it is, like almost instant stop loss. This would be a signal to go higher. Do we have room? We don't. Golden ruler is in the way. We also didn't trigger, so. And this bearish signal here, you're still above this trend line, so we can't take this bearish signal either. This is when price starts to get tricky, sometimes around 10:30. we basically, I mean, if I was in this trade, I would have taken profits a point above the green line. So we would have taken, this would not have been a stop loss. But regardless, that trade's no longer in play. This trade doesn't have enough room to hit its target before hitting golden ruler. So I wouldn't take this bullish signal either. And now we have sort of this look. Okay, the bullish trade has not stopped out yet, and the bearish trade is en route. All right, the bullish trade's out. Brand new low, we move golden ruler down. Runner is at break even. You can see we're getting a lot of buying because we hit the overnight low almost. We tested it anyway. Actually, this probably shouldn't have been a bullish signal here. I forgot that golden ruler was right there, but we'll go ahead and take this. I think we have a lot of bullish momentum, seeing that we tested the overnight low. I'll go ahead and move it. I was going to say I was going to move it to break even, but didn't get the chance. We might get stopped out here. This wasn't the trade we were supposed to take. Because of that golden ruler overhead. Maybe the buyers will surprise us. All right, moving it to break even here. There we go. All right. We got lucky on that one, guys. Notice I didn't get stopped out because my stop loss is actually 1.25 points below where that red line is. We literally tested that area and then boom, we hit our target. In all honesty, though, this was a trade we probably should not have taken because of that golden ruler. I wasn't paying attention. I still do make mistakes. Try to minimize my mistakes, but it happens. Don't beat yourself up if you make a mistake. Just stay calm, trade your plan, and move forward. So far we have 6 winners and 1 loser. We're up about $489, including fees. Our runner is still running right at 250 right there. I don't want to put the 2 lines on top of each other. Let's delete all the other lines. Draw some new trend lines. In a few minutes, I might transition over to the Renko chart. I typically have a lot of success trading the Renko around 10:45 on. Runner just got taken out. You can see this wick took out. This actually means that this is a signal to go higher. Let's see where our target is. Come on, it almost hit the target. There we go. So this one worked as well. All right, 7 winners and 1 loser. We're up $554. Runner is running on this one. Golden ruler moves up, which gives us another trend line that we can draw. We have this trend line as well. Runner just got taken out. I'm going to delete this line. We have this macro trend line above our heads. We did make a new high here, so our golden ruler does move up once more. We can delete this line now. We have this more aggressive trend line. Let me zoom back in. So we got to draw a new downward trend line. And this runner is still running. Runner is still running. We can delete this line now. See what this line is. This line is not valid. Let's delete that one. Sometimes it helps to zoom out and see where we are on the overall spectrum. We have this bigger trend here. And that's all I could see right now in terms of our bigger downward trend lines. There is one right here, but I think we just got through it. So, or maybe we tested it, and you can see we're failing here, right? So maybe we should go ahead and draw an updated version of that line like this. It is a lower high. The runner got taken out over there. This would have been your bearish signal here because we broke this trend line. Problem is we didn't have enough room to hit our target, but we already did. I'm just saying if we look back in time, why we wouldn't have taken this bearish signal here. And now you have this bullish signal to bounce off of the EMA that just hit target right there. Our runner's at right there, right slightly above break even. And now it looks like we're trying to approach 100 once more up there. That could be another area of resistance. All right, so we're going to go ahead and delete this line, delete the measured move. We're retesting 100. All right, there you go. There's that reversal off of the 100 zone. Runner is taken out. This was the bearish signal up there. It did hit target. It was about, how many points was that? 6.5 points. Runner is out on that one. Now we potentially might have a bullish signal. I need this bullish candle to close above 100. It didn't, so I can't take this. Because if you're still below 100, 100 is still resistance, right? And there you go. This stop out right there. So, and now you have this bearish signal, but you're right above these two trend lines and this EMA. So this isn't exactly a good bearish trade either. So when you're getting a lot of these marginal setups in both directions, just better to sit out, wait for a much, much, much better setup. But it looks like the bearish move is most likely going to work. We're only a point away. There it is. Keep track of the runner now. We are testing the golden ruler. We could see a reverse head and shoulder. Shoulder, head, shoulder. It could go back up to 100. Not saying that's what's going to happen, but that could be a potential formation here. And our runner, I believe, is still running. Okay, we're tested that standard deviation level. And bounced up. So now we can draw our upward trend line finally. And this technically is a bullish signal, even though, because it's a bounce off of the standard deviation level, but it's not a very good bullish signal because we have the EMAs and the trend lines above our heads. Okay, so at this point, I think I might switch over to Renko. The price is getting a little choppier here. So as far as trading the 1024 tick chart, we took 7 trades. Sorry, we took 8 trades, 7 winners and 1 loser. So that gives us a win rate of 87.5%. We captured $554.40 including fees. I mean, that's really good. So now we're going to switch gears a little bit because I'm trying to show you guys just different ways to trade. And this is what's called the Renko chart. Got to change my ATM strategy real quick. Give me a moment here. And I got to change my groups. All right, so the premise of the Renko, very similar to our trading system in, there are going to be a lot more stop losses, but there's going to be a lot of winners too that balance it out. So the idea is I'm going to be trading, I'm going to be risking 4 points to make 8. And I'm looking for areas of where the Renko is going to reverse. So we did take 2 stop losses there, but the good news is 1 winner will erase 2 losers when you're trading, when you're risking 1 to make 2. And the idea here is I'm looking for reversals that happen at key levels. So this is a key level right here. If we get a reversal, I'm taking it. And my stop loss is going to be 1 tick below where it reversed like that. So that's where the 4 points comes from. And now I'm looking to get 8 points here. It's a little bit of a different system. But I figured I'd show you guys 2 different flavors of trading. See which one you like better. Right now, as soon as we hit 5 points, I move it to automatically break even. So, unfortunately, it stopped me out for a slight profit. And it goes and does its 8 points. But this dotted red line here, it's called the T line in the Renko world. And the T line is the 233 exponential moving average. So the next areas I'm looking for price to go to is up to 100. If we can get a reversal like we did here, you could see it reversed at 100. There's your 8 points right there. Reverse at 100 again. There's your next 8 points, right? And then it retested the T line and you got your 8 points. Retested the T line, you got your 8 points. Retested the T line here, you got your 8 points, right? I got stopped out here, unfortunately. But I caught it here. And that's the nice thing about having a risk 1 to make 2. or 2 reward 1 risk, 2 to 1 reward risk ratio, is because you don't have to be right that often. I missed this one. This one happened so fast. See if we can come back down and get it. This might be a stop loss. But the nice thing about having a 2 to 1 reward risk ratio is that you only have to be right 33% of the time in order for you to be profitable in the long run. Yeah, and I got stopped out twice, which is unfortunate, but the math ends up working out if you just keep taking these setups at these key areas. So now I'm looking for a potential bearish setup here. If it comes down here. And my stop loss is right there. Because we retested the T line from the bottom, right? Where the T line now acts as resistance instead of support. I'm looking to make 8 points. I've gotten at least break even now. There we go. There's 8 points. And that's how the Renko works. The Renko is very fast. The Renko will give you a ton of different setups. I missed. Here's another setup here. The Renko will give you a ton of different setups. This was a stop loss. But you're not risking much to make double what you're risking. So at this point, I kind of want price to go back up to 100 and then fail. And then we take the reversal going down. Or it can come back to the T line, bounce up, and we take the reversal going back up. Those are the two options on the table at the moment. All right, no bounce, no trade. I wanted this area to hold. Of my bearish. Okay, no longer going to go bearish now. We went right through it. Never got that reversal look. So now what I'm looking for is for price to come back down, retest 100. We get a bounce to go back up. So it's testing 100 right here. Do we get that bounce up? We do. My stop loss is 1 tick below that. And we're looking for 8 points. And there we go. That's how Renko's supposed to work. But Sometimes you're going to get stopped out, and that's okay. Your losers are going to be half as big as your winners. Getting another opportunity at going at it again here. This time down here, if it gets it. If it doesn't get it, we cancel the order. All right, we cancel the order. It's as simple as that. And now I'm not taking this bounce higher here because we don't have enough room between the T line and the 100 to get 8 points. I can't take this bearish either because we're closed above the T line. So I'm going to let this one pass. If it ends up working, it works. And I can't take this one bullish either. But the good news is, like, if you miss a trade on the Renko, because sometimes it moves really fast, there's always going to be another Renko trade a few minutes later because it moves really fast. Now, that's why I didn't start off trading Renko in the morning, because right at market open, the Renko is basically untradeable. It moves way too fast for my reflexes to even take trades. But around 10:45 to noon, it's slow enough to where you're able to take the trades at the key areas and have it work. We're approaching our next potential bounce zone. It's at the standard deviation level here at 64.50. So I would be looking for it to come down there and bounce back up, or we can come back up to the T line and go back down. I missed it. I missed it. All right, it got me in. Now I needed to go down. All right, we got it. There we go. And that's how the Renko works, ladies and gentlemen. You could see we went down as low as 300 on the account, and now we're up $621. So if you can actually follow your rules, be consistent, be patient, you can make a lot of money on the Renko as well, without spending a lot of time. Setups happen very fast and very often. This would be the next potential trade here, higher. See if we got the trigger to go higher. See if it wants to go. All right, that was a stop loss. Now, the reason why I didn't take this one higher here, because this brick was below the standard deviation level. So I'm gonna let this one go. And if it ends up working, it works. Who cares? Like, you can't get FOMO when it comes to this sort of thing. This is gonna be a bearish signal here if it comes down. Not anymore. And if you guys have any questions about the Renko chart or the 1024 tick chart like this one, feel free to leave me a comment, and I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. Now, see, I'm not taking this bearish move here because we didn't test the T line just yet. I want it to actually go up and touch the T line, this dotted red line here, and potentially go back down. Or we come back down to the standard deviation level here at 64 and we go back up. It's a very straightforward system. All right, bearish if it goes below here. Nope. Below here. Then we go back down. All right. All right, stop loss, but again, you don't if you're wrong, you don't want the price of being wrong to be very, very high. I can't take any of these signals bearish now because they've closed above the standard deviation level. Or not standard deviation, I'm sorry, T line. Price has kind of slowed down a bit though, if you can pick up on that. All right, we're waiting for it to come back down into this zone here and see if we can get a bounce back up. Low here. It didn't grab my other account, so I'm just going to go ahead and close this trade. There was a trade copy issue there. Okay, we're trying to go down again. Got me. I got a few points of profit there. Couldn't quite make the 8 points. At this point, I am not going to be going bearish again. We're making higher lows. Okay, we're approaching the T line again. Okay, cancel that order. Have it come back down as standard deviation, see if we can get a bounce up. All right, see if we can go below. Nope, cancel that. All right, now I'm looking for it to go higher if it wants to do it. All right, cancel. See, there's a little bit of indecision here on where price wants to go. I am paying attention to the 5-minute chart as well. And if you look at the 5-minute, we are below this 8 EMA here. This is why we aren't able to go higher. So higher time frames will always trump the lower ones. You gotta sometimes pay attention to the higher time frames. This would be a bearish signal here if it comes down. Never mind. It looks like the buyers are trying to get above that EMA now. This is going to be a bullish signal here. If we go higher, there we go. We're up. We're bullish now. Okay, we're almost at the 8 points there. We're so close. We were at, there we go, we got it. All right. The 233 EMA is the T line. That is correct. We're coming back to the T line again here, it looks like. I want us to touch the T line. We didn't, so. This would be the signal higher here. Got a terrible fill. All right, at this point, I kind of just wanted to come back down to this standard deviation area here. Take the bounce higher. Okay, we're almost there at 8 points. There we go. at this point, this T line is actually in a very tricky zone. I don't know if I want to take any trades. I'm just looking at the 5-minute EMA and I'm just not happy with it. So this is why I skipped this bearish one there. But normally this would have been a bearish signal. Also, my focus is starting to go down a little bit. So I'm probably going to be cutting the stream in about a minute or two. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat right now. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you might have, especially on the Renko, which is a very different type of trading chart, right? I am going to be featuring the Renko the second half of the stream and the tick chart the first half of the stream. We had a lot of success in the morning trading the tick chart. We had 87% win rate. And then the Renko, we're green. We're up $643 on the account now that we just started today. And again, the journey is going to be to for you guys to walk with me on how to actually go through passing a prop firm account, a 50K, through Apex. And then once we pass this account, how do we actually manage this performance account moving forward to take payouts and that sort of thing. And hopefully by doing so, you guys can see the entire process. You can learn from it. You can learn what works and doesn't work and kind of go from there. So by sort of showing, lead by example, sort of learn through example. What is my ATM strategy? Yes, there is an auto trail. Let me see if I could show it to you. Can you see my ATM strategy on the screen? I don't think you can. All right. My stop loss is 20 ticks. And my profit is 32 ticks. And then my actual stop strategy, let me see if I could take a screenshot and share it with you guys. Well, my actual trailing stop loss for profit trigger and auto break even, they're both zeros. But for the auto trail, I'm only do one step, and that is stop loss is 18 and profit trigger is 20. Frequency is 1. So I'll type it in the chat. And if you're new and you're wondering what is an ATM strategy, it's just how NinjaTrader allows you to automatically set your profit targets, and it can automatically trail your stop loss as you get into key target areas in your trading. And that's really helpful when you're trading when price is really, really fast and you just want to have the computer sort of manage some of the targets for you and some of the stop losses and trailing stop losses for you when you're trading. So I am, John, I'm going to go ahead and type out the parameters for you. The stop loss is actually 18, not 180. I don't know why the extra 0 is there. Yeah, you're very welcome. And if you guys also have questions on how to set up your ATM strategy yourself on Ninja, I'm more than happy to answer that as well. But I'll say today's been a pretty good, successful trading day. Happy to have a strong start. We're up $643. Our goal is going to be $3,000 before we can actually pass. There is no auto break even. So you can, let me see. My auto break even are both zeros. Yeah, 0 and 0. So yeah, the goal is to hit $3,000 on this eval. That means we passed it, and then we'll convert it over to a performance account. And that's when the real fun starts, because that's when you're actually starting to earn real money. And we'll go ahead and manage that. We'll keep track of that on this channel and see how many payouts we take, how much money we actually cash out. I think it'll be really fun. And then you guys hopefully will be able to replicate what I'm doing, and you guys can also make money and follow along with me on this trading journey, trading profits using a prop firm account with Apex. So I do have the affiliate link in the description if you're interested in learning more. Also feel free to message me, and you can also use the code ZONE, ZONE, to get the best discount that Apex has available at the moment. And yeah, if you guys have any other questions related to Apex, related to prop firms, related to actually trading strategies, feel free to message me and we will go from there. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday, a great start of the week. Again, happy November, and let's go after it, guys. God bless you. Have a good one.